Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and this week's review of The Acolyte. However, before we get to that, let's just recap the week that Disney Star Wars has had. First, critics of the show, like Star Wars Theory, are getting death threats from those who don't agree with them. Amanda Stenberg released her mumbling music video about being a victim, and all she got was roasted, deservedly so, for such video. Leslie Headland came out to backpedal on her comments that The Acolyte is the gayest Star Wars show ever, as well as her and Amanda Stenberg's comments about Star Wars fans being homosexual, along with C-3PO being homosexual and R2-D2 being a lesbian because the ratings must be tanking. The big reveal of the main villain of the show, Smilow Ren, the Jedi who laughs, whatever you want to call him, was leaked onto the internet, and it was not a surprise because it was exactly who we thought it would be. Episode 4 managed to break 40 years of lore with the inclusion of Ki-Adi-Mundi, who specifically says that the Sith have not been seen for a millennium, and if you remember that from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And for this, fans were attacked as well because we care about what came before, and we were being mocked because the word Sith was not used to describe this new Dark Jedi, so we Star Wars fans were just being hypercritical because we are bigots. But let's just say that's all water under the bridge. Let's see what Episode 5 brings to us. And yep, same nonsensical crap. We open where we left off. The Jedi who laughs force-pushed about a dozen Jedi, managed to kill a few off-screen in between episodes 4 and 5, you don't get to see that, and here we're about to get the lightsaber fight that is, according to Leslie Headland, better than episode 1 with Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, it wasn't. It was okay, it was choreographed okay, but you had one person fighting and killing about 6 at a time. This makes no sense. 6 people with swords are going to kill the one guy they are surrounding with only one sword. But hey, don't worry. Osha's going to be safe. She is being carted off and escorted by Jedi Yord to the ship for safety because Master Soul said to. Now May is still in hiding in the dead Wookiee's cabin, watching all this go down, and Master Saul engages the Sith, and they banter back and forth about nothing at all. Meanwhile, preteen Jedi female Knight 3, or is it 4? I'm not sure. The one that was crushing on Osha in episode 4, she attacks May, who, if you remember, was determined to turn herself into the Jedi, surrender, and confess everything. That illogical, unpretexted face turn is now checkmated by another illogical, unpretexted heel turn as May tries to kill Jackie Lon while Jackie Lon tries to arrest her, which is what May wanted in episode 4 until Leslie Headland wrote herself into a corner and needed to pull out her bullshit card to stretch the plot. Jackie wins, May is arrested, but they then run into the Jedi who laughs and Master Saul having a fight, which causes Jackie to get involved, and May watches on. She could use the Force, I mean, she's not unconscious, she might as well have a bucket of popcorn at this point. Then, they tried to give the 14-year-old Jedi Padawan a great fight scene by mimicking Anakin and Dooku from episode 2. Jackie manages to unmask him, much like a Scooby-Doo mystery, and then the Jedi who laughs kills Jackie. And then there is a big reveal, confirmation of what anyone with any sense knew already. It's the ratty-looking dude who has been helping May all along, was the only one who knew where the Wookiee lived, and was conveniently absent from scenes when the Jedi who laughs was off-screen doing bad things. Writing. It's not for everyone. During all this time, Osha and Yord are taking their time walking to the ship for safety. They run into the giant moths that eat people. Osha tells Yord to extinguish his weapon because they're attracted to light, like any bug is. Then all of a sudden, Osha is sensing things in the Force. They need to go back. Why not? They only wasted about 5 minutes of showtime walking away. When they arrive, the Jedi who laughs snaps Yord's neck. Bye, Yord. You got done dirty. And then our evil Jedi, who is totally not a Sith, because that would mean all the crap we took from the defenders of the series was wrong, and their next video should be them apologizing to all of us for calling us bigots and haters. Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath either. Our evil Jedi clearly states that he is what the Jedi would call a Sith. So not only have they retconned Ki-Adi-Mundi as a character in Star Wars, we just retconned episodes 1 through 6 because down with the patriarchy. May then manages to get uncuffed, but then caught by our Ezra Miller impersonator. And you know, this whole thing would have been a hell of a lot more entertaining if they had just gotten the real Ezra Miller. Anyway, Osha runs up behind our villain and slaps a flashlight on his back like a kick me sign. Again, writing is hard sometimes. The villain can take on a dozen Jedi at once, but a teenage girl sneaking up behind him, that's his kryptonite. The light goes on, the giant man-eating moths come and carry away the Jedi who laughs up into the trees, and of course, he must be dead, right? I mean, surviving a swarm of giant flesh-eating animals, that's going to be too much for the guy who can't handle a game of freeze tag. Just kidding, he's fine. He lands on his feet from high up in the air, not a scratch on him. Writing, am I right? Since this happened, May is free to run. Osha runs after her. They have a CW moment. They hug. Then they fight. Then May knocks her out, uses a lightsaber to cut off her hair.
Uh-oh. Somebody's fabulous!
And now looking exactly like Osha, she can now impersonate her and leave her to die on this rural, distant planet. So, in the span of seconds, we went from hugging to stealing one's identity and leaving them for dead. Writing. Am I right? Fake Osha meets back up with Master Saul. They glance down at the dead Jedi and casually walk away because Master Saul may be a Jedi Master, but sensing a Dark Force user impersonating his student, that must be his kryptonite. Again, writing. Am I right? And of course, the old switcheroo plot twist that hasn't been done 1,000 times before would not be complete if we didn't end with Ezra Miller wannabe coddling an unconscious fake May, who is actually Osha, and not realizing that these are different people. He must have the same thing Master Saul has. Why? So the rest of the plot can happen. And roll credits.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Yes, I left out a lot of the back and forth nonsensical bad guy stuff. He fights a Jedi only to let them live, only to kill them 2 minutes later. Why? So Leslie Headland can justify the $200 million budget at $25 million per episode. This is the episode that Star Wars fans will remember. The one where we know that the people in charge of Star Wars either don't care or don't know what Star Wars is really all about, or it will be remembered as the episode that Disney released as a giant F you to George Lucas and everything he built over the span of 35 years. Either way, the series has only 3 episodes left. That is the only good news I can give to you, my friends. And I know, some are going to say that this episode was awesome. The lightsaber battles were awesome. They were not. They killed characters you have no vested interest in or emotional attachment to. Sure, they were choreographed very well, but choreography without meaning is empty and soulless. And so is this series, as well as the people who created it. And that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What did you think of episode 5? Does it concern you that all of Star Wars is now retconned to fit a social narrative? And if you want more pulp culture content, click on the thumbnails at the end of this video. As always, thank you for watching, and from south of the border, salute and a huevo.